Claude, not that it hasn't been a treat, but I think we need to get back to filming.
Well, I was thinking maybe we can do more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 videos or something, because those do actually really well.
No, I would actually like to be in one this year. It would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. But, alright, so how about we just do a review for each of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever...
So we are doing all of the reviews for all of the MCU movies, and we're actually starting with Iron Man. So, let's go!
Hi, Thanos. We're the lamest offenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com.
Alright, so welcome back. So like I said in the beginning, we are doing an Iron Man review. So if you guys recall, it's been 12 years since that movie came out. It was 2008. Honestly, one of our favorite MCU movies. It was amazing. At least when I went into this movie thinking, driving to the theater, I'm like, I know who Iron Man is. I play video games. I've read some comics with him. He wasn't very interesting to me. He's always
a side character.
Yeah.
He was a B character for sure.
He never looked cool until they redrew him back in like 06 and his armor actually looked modern.
Yeah.
But before that I didn't really care. I was like, this is just another summer movie. I'm gonna go into it. I did not expect what we found, which was actually a really great movie with really great characters and the highlight trilogy in the entire thing. So. Yeah,
absolutely. The film's directed by Jon Favreau, who's one of my favorites. I've mentioned before on a previous episode. He wrote the movie Swingers, which Vince Vaughn. If you haven't seen that, please go see it. He just brought a lot of heart to this movie, which is kind of his thing. He knows how to bring out a character beats very well,
right? And
he does it in spades with Tony Stark. Like he had the perfect casting. He knew from the beginning he wanted Robert Downey Jr. He said it's just that charismatic kind of, I guess, rogue. I don't know what else to call him, but. And Robert Downey was not having the best career at that time, so he was a definite risk. The studio did not want him, but Favreau pushed for him, and he got him. And
there's rumors of Tom Cruise, and it's just
Tom Cruise back then. Oh, that'd be horrible.
He would stick around for maybe 2 movies.
It would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
So the film opens up though. They're out in Afghanistan, and Tony is testing out his new. The Jericho missile.
Jericho.
Yeah. And it's like the way Jon Favreau. This is gonna be a love note. I feel like Jon Favreau through this, but like the way he basically recreates his origin story.
Yeah.
In that brief award show, in that like 30-second clip, just like, oh, here's everything. Yeah, you got it.
Right.
That's it. You're good.
Yeah. So Vietnam. There's no 2-hour origin story. It was. Yeah. I mean. It was an origin story, don't get me wrong, but it was more of just the beginning of Tony Stark's journey of being Iron Man, and they did so in a way where it just flowed. And, eventually, obviously, Tony Stark gets captured. Spoilers for a 12-year-old movie. But he gets captured, finds a way to use his genius to get himself out of that situation, and then he lands back in the States. And that whole thing where they really emphasized that he's a tech genius. It shows him building the next iteration of the armor, and that's what I really loved about Iron Man as a whole. Is each movie his armor's got a new upgrade. Yeah. Something is new about Tony Stark's weapons and arsenal, and this movie really showed that. There was 3 iterations of the Iron Man costume, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you said, just to kind of jump on your point, it's absolutely the best thing to just watch I love the origins, Lord of the Rings Fellowship is my favorite movie. I just like the building of the characters. I think that's the best part. But and his interactions with Pepper Potts, they have a real was it Ross and Rachel kind of going there. So
and I've never
dated or not? Is that a dated reference?
And so the bad guy, Jeff Bridges, Obadiah Stane.
Yeah. The Iron Dude.
Yeah, the Iron Dude. I never saw him as a bad guy ever. Just I don't know. Everybody loves Jeff Bridges. And him just being a douche, just doesn't fit. But he did a great job. He's a great actor. They got that thick man inside an even thicker suit of armor. And it was really cool just because he was frustrated with Tony Stark, and they try to force him off the board and force him out of his dad's company and everything like that. And then Obadiah Stane really wants that technology, and he just kind of just hunkers everything down to build like a really bulky version.
Yeah. The first 2/3 of this movie are great for me. Like I love it. It's fantastic. The writing's great, the acting's great, everything is phenomenal. But it's that third boss fight. Yeah. The third act, the boss fight scene. It's just like, okay.
Pepper, hit the button now.
Yeah, I kind of zone out, honestly, when that happens. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I love it, but I know that's how you get a superhero, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and so out of all the action in the entire movie, and honestly in MCU, one of the coolest highlights for me is that part where Tony Stark actually has a red and yellow Iron Man suit, and he's flying, he's testing it out, and then he goes to the Middle East to basically get revenge. And then so he gets shot out of the sky. I think it was a tank that shot him out of the sky.
Yeah, you're right.
And then just his face when he looks up out of the rubble, and then he does that cool guys walk away from explosions. He's just a badass. Just shoots that little pew pew missile right in the barrel. And I was like, all right, this movie is badass, and it was.
And here's a little lame fact for you. It's a little segment we're going to introduce now.
New segment.
It's for the flights, all the flight scenes with Iron Man and like Obadiah Stane and all that stuff. Well, I guess he doesn't really have one, but
it just goes up.
Yeah, it just goes up. Yeah, dummy thick boy going up. But they filmed all of it in a indoor skydiving facility. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. Like just so many little things that they took care of. They're like, no, we got to make this look as real as possible. And it turned out really well, I thought.
Yeah, because what you said in the beginning before we filmed was this movie was essentially an independent movie.
Yeah. It was built on a budget of $140 million, which, I mean, for a modern Marvel movie, it's easily $250 million, I feel. So, and it grossed almost $600 million. So this was a huge hit because Disney did not buy Marvel Studios until the following year. Yeah. So this was just... I think Marvel doing their best, and I wish they would have stayed independent for a little bit longer, honestly.
So the movie wraps up, after all that good stuff, Iron Man versus Ironmonger, and then, so for the first time, you get an after-credits scene, and who that is obviously it's Nick Fury, and it builds up the Avengers, and I remember seeing that, and I was thinking, it's never going to happen. They're never going to do it.
Favreau threw that in as just a fun little Easter egg. Yeah. Like that was never meant to be like a world building moment. It was all just kind of, you know what? Because Favreau is a big comic book nerd. Yeah. He's a nerd. Like he's like, let's give the fan a little treat. Yeah. Because he read the Ultimates and he realized that they drew Nick Fury as Samuel Jackson. Yeah. So he's like, well, we'll just get Sam Jackson. Just throw him in there. Throw him in. Sam Jackson does not say no.
No. Yeah.
As per Sam Jackson, he always say yes. Yeah. So. We can get him here.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll email his PR team.
Yeah, right.
But what are your overall thoughts then for the movie?
It's one of my favorites, honestly. If not top 5, easily top 10. Yeah. Of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's great.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. It's within my top 5 in the entire list, and we'll go over that after we're done with reviewing all these movies. But yeah, it's up there, and really it's what started the MCU, and if it was a stinker, nothing would have ever happened. We wouldn't be blessed with all these movies.
Still holds up today.
It does.
I mean, it's still, I watched it this week, and man, it's still really good. Yeah. So it hits the chops. It has chops, rather. It's pretty great.
So that's it for our Iron Man review. Again, if you haven't seen the movie 12 years later, there you go. So
Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's right there ready for you. For our next review, we're going in order of the timeline of when the movie is actually released. So the next one will be The Incredible Hulk. So stay tuned for that in the near future. And thanks again for watching.
Appreciate you. Stay lame.
See ya.